Good evening, everyone. I wanted to hop on here tonight and give you a few tips to keep your summer relaxing and just give you some ways that you can, not necessarily have to take a trip to the beach and spend a week at the beach just to have relaxation. You can have it every single day, and it's our theme for this month. So I wanted to kind of tell you a little bit more about how you could look for small ways in your day to make it a little bit more relaxing. And as a mom, these are probably going to be more so for the moms out there. Definitely for the women, probably more so for the men. That's just, I guess that just comes natural for me because I am a woman, I am a mom. So first things first though, for relaxation, you definitely have to schedule it, I feel like. Or, especially with two young kids. If I don't, well, let me preface this with saying that I wanted to start out by going through your day as far as starting in the morning and going to the evening and bedtime to tell you how you can make small little changes and carve out those little times to hopefully make the day, get those little pockets of time that are more relaxing and don't feel like you're just rushing through the day and, stressed out, tired by the end of the day, that you have those little moments of time that they kind of get you refreshed. So that's kind of how I wanted to set it up, and then I was going to tell you a few different things that you could do anytime just to take a little bit of time out for yourself. So starting off in the morning, I don't know about you, but if I don't get up before my kids, I don't have a very relaxing morning. I feel like, I'm scrambling to try to get my thoughts together and just to get the day started. I find that it is much more beneficial for me to set my alarm clock about an hour and a half earlier than my kids normally get up, just so I know that I have time for myself. What I personally like to do, I read my devotion and I spend some time in prayer. I also love to do some yoga, so I'll do a little bit of that. That's very relaxing to me. And I also use some Balance essential oil. That's a great one to use in the morning just to kind of set your day off right and has that grounding effect. So it kind of, so your nerves aren't kind of on end at the very start of the day. So I find that that's a great way to start my day. But definitely, if you don't already do that for yourself, think about maybe carving out, not that much time. Maybe you think, gosh, that's a lot of time to get up early when you're used to waking up with your children. Why don't you start out with maybe 30 minutes or even, 20 minutes? Sometimes it's very unpredictable to see, to know when they're going to get up. So, and I still have that problem. So sometimes I have only 30 minutes, but regardless, I do like to wake up before my kids and just set that intention of the day, whatever that might be for you. I do find that is relaxing for me, and that is something that kind of, like I said, sets the tone for my day. So after that, I'll kind of go downstairs, and another little thing that I like to do that is a great thing to start off the morning right is to set my diffuser out. So I'll turn it on, and I'll often put in wild orange or peppermint or something like that that is uplifting but yet calming at the same time. So it's a great way to get your kids out of bed. If they're, if you're in the kitchen kind of making breakfast and they wake up and come in there, they're going to smell this lovely scent and hopefully not be grouchy first thing in the morning. Oh, good, Angela. I know that a lot of people love to do these little morning routines, and I love it too. I did not used to do this. I used to wake up, I guess more so when I worked full time, but I used to wake up like right and just in time enough to get ready and get out the door. And same with my kids. I kind of didn't used to spend a lot of time with them in the morning just because I had to get up and go to work, and they like to sleep late. So very, very much in a better place now as far as just like to get up early and have those things going before they do, and it kind of just sets the mood great for the morning. So as far as in, the first few hours of your day, I do feel like it's great to get up earlier, and it's great to have these little routines. And everybody's morning is going to look different, but I promise you, if you do not do that, it will definitely provide a more relaxing way to enter your day rather than stressed and maybe running late or whatnot. So that extra, even 15 minutes can really save you some peace of mind as far as just rush. And I'll definitely talk about that, how I can get in that mode where all I want to do is just rush through the day. So that is the morning time. So at lunchtime, I feel like what really helps me to kind of have a midday relaxing moment is to eat lunch and not necessarily like rush through eating, and just really try to sit there and savor my food. Before maybe, or even sometimes now, I will maybe think I need to catch up on something if I'm working from my home office, and I'll come back up here and I'll eat and I'll try to be doing some stuff. It's really not that relaxing, honestly. And I've really noticed that if I just maybe sit downstairs out of my environment, I find that that is probably more relaxing to me, is to, to kind of take a break from whatever you've been doing all morning and really maybe regroup your thoughts and just get your head out of whatever you've been doing. And, if you're I'm more of like an in the zone person. So if I'm working and I come back up here, I'm just going to get right back in work mode. So it really does help me to sit downstairs and eat, and I might listen to something, but I'm really enjoying my food and eating it slowly, which is what we should do anyway. Naomi said she gets up at 5 and she has her quiet time and has all these great little things in place. That's awesome. I mean, I know many people that do that, and I wish I would have started it sooner. So I really encourage any of you that are on live or watching the recording to think about getting up at least a little bit earlier than you normally do. So, too, if you don't, like I was saying, if you don't take time to eat your lunch and kind of enjoy it and savor it, it really does help you to relax and not feel like you have to rush through it. I know sometimes we don't have that luxury, but most of the time we can control that, And also I will mention, my kids are not at home during the day most of the time, so I do have that luxury of not having to, go get stuff for them, and I'm able to enjoy my meal. Well, maybe that's not you. Maybe your kids are at home with you or whatnot. Feed them, and maybe, if they go down to take a nap, eat then. Don't feel like you have to rush through your meal and get things for your kids and constantly be up and down. That is so not relaxing to me. And there's I try to do everything for them, but when mom is eating, I just don't want to be messed with. So I try to be more cognizant of that now. I know that I like to enjoy my meal, and I feel like that's a relaxation technique for me, I guess, and I really love that. So I'll just eat later, or I'll, get them, busy playing with something, and then I'll go eat. So just a little tip, if you find yourself doing that, it's very easy to do that as a mom. You get interrupted so many times during the day. So that is one thing at lunch that I love to do. If you have the chance, and sometimes I'll do this, I'll go for a walk after lunch, or I'll just take time to maybe, do something different rather than just coming back up here to work and getting back in that mode. So taking a walk, I love to pick up a book and maybe read it for 20 or 30 minutes, and it's, all these tips are just small things that you can do every day. It's not, like I said, I think sometimes we feel like we need a vacation, like we need to get out of our house and we need to go, and we do need those times, but you shouldn't really, I guess, think you can only have relaxation and only kind of, not be rush when you are on vacation. It really can be every day, but you have to be mindful of that. You have to make time, like I said, getting up early, or just thinking about it more. How can I carve out these small times during the day so that my day doesn't get away from me, and by the afternoon I'm just ill and I've been working, so hard all day, or my kids are on my nerves, or whatever it might be. We all have our stressors every single day, and I know that I do for sure. And I think it's great to think about what causes you to be more stressed out, or more, angry about something, or kind of what kind of sets you off, I guess you could say, rather than thinking about, and in thinking about that, try to think about things that would maybe counteract that, like I said, about the eating, or if you just need that moment, need that time during the day, get them doing something and you go do something for 20 minutes just to give back to yourself, because I've talked about this several times when I talk about self-care and all these things we should do for ourselves. It's really hard to pour from a cup that's empty. So these are ways that we can give back to ourselves and just have these little moments throughout the day. So moving on to the afternoon, and I call it probably the 4 to 6 p.m. time. If you're a mom and your kids are at home, this is like the witching hour, right? Things start just kind of going downhill sometimes. People are hungry, maybe they're tired, maybe whatever it might be. This is definitely a challenging time during the day for me. I still have 2 young kids, but I don't know if this happens to people with older kids, but it definitely happens to me. So these are things that I have thought about. Okay, what can I do to kind of combat this so that it doesn't, and just as a mom, sometimes I turn into not so nice of one when kids are not doing what they're supposed to, or just all those things. It's almost like a train wreck happens during that time some days. So these are things that I have thought of that will definitely help take the stress off and maybe make that time a little bit more relaxing if it can be. So definitely got the diffuser going. And any time throughout the day, I always feel like I just am in a better mood. My kids are most of the time in a better mood if we have something diffusing. And if you don't use essential oils, I realize that you might think that's kind of, it smells good, but can it really have an effect? I promise you it does. There's scientific evidence that it does. Breathing something in affects us through our hypothalamus, and that can affect our mood very quickly. So diffusing something like Balance or again, Wild Orange is a great choice. During those hours can really help just have a calm evening rather than fussing or fighting or ill or whatnot. So that's definitely something that I use. I also use a roller bottle blend called Happy Mama, and I posted about that recently on this page because I use it every single day. I love that blend. You can kind of scroll back if you want to see what's in it, but I'll apply some to my wrist and just kind of inhale that, and it really does help calm your nerves and just kind of takes the edge off. So that's definitely something that a tool that I use to keep that time a little bit more calm. Also, another thing that I feel that helps me a lot is knowing what I'm going to have for dinner, or at least having it halfway prepped. When you come 4 o'clock time, people, I want to start thinking about, getting dinner ready, or what am I going to do? I don't want to get to 5 or 6 o'clock and then not have any idea what I'm going to make for dinner, and everybody's hungry, and then, it's either you're going to cook something that's not good for you, or you're going to go out and get something. So I find that it's much less stressful for me if I already know what we're going to have. I usually know probably the night before, I have at least a good idea of what we're going to eat. And sometimes as a mom, I guess I feel like this stress of, I always have to have something planned to eat. And it used to kind of just bother me. I don't know why. I guess I just always thought, why can't somebody else worry about this? I'm sure nobody else has thought that, right? But then I realized I put my big girl panties on, and I realized that that's what a mom's job is. And so my job as a mom is to have something prepared so that I'm not frazzled and in the kitchen trying to cook something and have hungry kids and family. So that's definitely helped me to just, even if you don't plan your whole week out, some people love to do that. I usually plan more so day by day, just or either maybe a couple days in advance. So I find that works best for me. And sometimes my taste might change. Maybe I want something different tonight than I thought I did. But at any rate, I at least have some idea and have dinner already sort of going by that time. So those are just a few things that I felt would maybe help you during the trying time of 4 to 6 p.m. So moving on into bedtime and that time of day. This is really some of my favorite times of the day, winding down and just kind of you putting the kids to bed, and maybe you've given them a nice bath with some, maybe you use lavender body wash to help calm their nervous system down, get them ready for bed. Maybe you're diffusing something in their room and putting them to bed, in a great way to where they drift off to sleep well and they sleep through the night. And then this is time for you, right? It gives you that time, that chunk at night where you can really maybe focus on just doing, again, something else for yourself. These are a few options of things that you might want to do for yourself, and things that I love to do probably a couple of times a week at least. So if you know anything about me, I love a bubble bath or a bath. I don't necessarily always put bubbles, but most of the time I do Epsom salt and some type of essential oil. And I usually try to do that about 2 or 3 times a week. During the summer, I don't do it quite as much because it's hot outside. I love to take a nice warm bath when it's cold outside, but still I do love to take a good bath. So I usually do that, like I said, a couple times a week, and probably once a week I put on a face mask. I just feel like that's kind of like pampering yourself one little extra step. And then diffusing something in the bedroom at night is really great to help wind down your body to get ready for sleep. So those are just, some kind of times during the day that you could take time for yourself. Obviously, I said like reading a good book. You could kind of do that anytime during the day. Usually I'll do that maybe like right after lunch or at night. And sometimes in the morning if I have an extra time when the kids are just asleep and I've block that time because I thought they would be up, I'll grab a book and read it for 10 or 15 minutes. So reading a good book is very relaxing for me. I don't know if you're not, if you all are not readers, but I love to read a good book, and it just, you know, it again, it kind of allows you to take a break from responsibility too. I think as women, we definitely need that because we can feel this pressure of having to be on all the time, having to be there for everybody else all the time. And I know that I have definitely, I mean, I don't think that really ever completely goes away, but I think that we can quieten those thoughts a little bit if we really know that we don't have to carry all this on our shoulders, and that, you know, we are a good mom even though we take time out for ourselves. I think that everybody would be in a much better mood and feel less tired if we really took time out for ourselves more. You love to read. I've really enjoyed reading a good bit more here in these last few years, and it is I love to read it because it helps me relax. So I wish I could read more. I guess I probably need to carve out more time, but I do love to read. So to close it up, I wanted to tell you 3 or 4 different things that you could do anytime to kind of take some me time out for yourself. So you know, maybe you like to paint your fingernails. So at night, like I just painted mine last night, I love, and you know, it just kind of makes things special to have your fingernails painted. I don't know, some people paint them all the time. I don't that much, but I do love to take some time out and just kind of, I mean, I guess that's kind of like pampering yourself, but whether you go out and get them done or pedicure or whatnot, or either if you just sit in bed and paint them like I did, it just kind of is taking some time out for yourself. And often I realize there are these little cues in my life that maybe I need to slow down and kind of dial it back. Whether that be I'm getting snappy with people, whether that be, you know, I'm always in a rush, like my handwriting's always in a rush, or, you know, I haven't put on makeup in a couple days, or my fingernails haven't been painted in months, or, you know, different things like that, the things that we like to do, but yet we're rushing through them every single day because we feel like we have to, like I said, be everything to everybody, and can't take a moment out for ourselves. And I know that for me, sometimes I just get in these cycles, and it's great to kind of, instead of just looking down, you know, I'm kind of like a look down person, like I'm just going to get through it and I'm going to get through the day, but taking kind of breaths up and thinking about how we can do these little things will really make a big difference. I can see that in my life, and hopefully it would be that for you too. So let's see. Okay. Another one of those things that you could do anytime was go get a massage. So I love to go get a massage. I would love to get one every single week. I get one just about every month. I feel like, I mean, obviously that's very relaxing, and I have tight back and shoulders, and so I love to get a massage. So anytime you can kind of, you know, just sneak away for 30 minutes or an hour and take that time for you, and like I said, it's going to pay off. Go to lunch with somebody instead of eating at home. I usually always eat at home, so maybe I'll go call a friend up and ask them if they want to meet for lunch, or you know, different things like that. Maybe you hadn't talked to your friend in a while. Take 30 minutes out and talk, and I promise you'll feel refreshed after these small little things that you do for yourself. Lastly, maybe you like to go shopping. Maybe you're a mom and always buy clothes for your kids, and you just want a new shirt. Take time out and go do those things, because it'll just kind of refresh you. It'll make you feel better. It'll just kind of relax you. It'll be just a little getaway. And I feel like sometimes we all need that. Maybe we need week-long getaways, which I hope many of you will be taking this summer. I think it's great to get away for that long and really spend time with your family, but we all need daily getaways too. So hopefully these tips will help you. Summer is a time that is different, right? You know, everybody is more in relaxation mode, and they want to spend more time with their family and friends, which is awesome. So do that too, but also take time every day for you. So I hope these tips help you, and my sister, Julie, will be back next week, I believe, to talk more about nutrition labels. So I know many of you have been enjoying that. So please let us know if there's any other topics that you want to know more about. We'll be glad to jump on and give our thoughts on those. So I hope you guys have a relaxing summer and a relaxing day tomorrow. See you guys later. Bye.